Hi there, this is Matt with State of Flex here with a review for Invasion of Astro Monster, also known as Monster Zero. This is an unusual Godzilla film in that this is the Godzilla film where Godzilla has the least amount of screen time, supposedly only around 5 or 6 minutes or so. And it shows his presence is not necessarily felt in this film. This is more or less an alien invasion film, which of the aspects of Godzilla that were brought to the fold, when Godzilla went cosmic was my least favorite aspect of Godzilla. Usually the allegory or allegorical comparatives within the narrative kind of fall away whenever you go cosmic in the Godzilla movies. And it's the allegory stuff that I like the most. Weirdly enough, I like this movie. Of the sequels to come out thus far to this point, this one, I think Mothra vs. Godzilla edges this one out just a little bit, but I think this is infinitely better than the previous film, Ghidorah the Three-Headed Monster, or King Kong vs. Godzilla, or Godzilla Raids Again. This is a fun movie and one of my favorite ones of the Showa era. It feels very Star Trek-y in its look and the way it addresses the sci-fi angle of things visually. Story-wise, it has a lot to be desired when compared to Star Trek. But in this, you have these aliens who engage with a couple of astronauts, an American fella and a Japanese fella, who they reach out to saying that there is a monster that is destroying their universe and they need the help of some monsters from their world to maybe combat it. And they show the monster and it's revealed to be Ghidorah, the three-headed monster, which they recognize. So they enlist the people of Earth to get their greatest warriors, and they collect Godzilla and they collect Rodan to bring to their world to combat Ghidorah. And what happens on that planet is laughable. They do nothing to hide the wire work for Ghidorah, so you just see the wires everywhere. Same thing with Rodan. And the Ghidorah costume looks pretty weak sauce. I'm assuming they just recycled it from the previous movie. However, very clearly Godzilla and Rodan look a lot more spiffed up. Particularly Rodan, he looks a lot healthier than he did in the previous film. Godzilla looks friendlier, which would continue on through much of the rest of his use in the Showa era. Admittedly kind of disappointing, but this is Godzilla as the hero from this point forward. However, the aliens are duplicitous, and they actually want to mind control Godzilla and Rodan and Ghidorah the Three-Headed Monster and send them to Earth to invade. And invade they do. And that is kind of the base premise of this film. Of all the ones that went cosmic during the Showa era, this is probably my favorite one. Now, some of these rewatches may shift that a little bit, but I do have a fondness for this film, which is weird because there's very little monster play. You're over 20 minutes into the film before you get introduced to the aliens, and then it's an additional 10-15 minutes before you get Godzilla and Rodan, and when you get them, they're just like in hibernation, and it's like almost the halfway point of the film before the first fight happens. And then once the real invasion happens on Earth, they keep cutting back to the human characters. And they, even though the storyline with the human characters isn't necessarily the most compelling thing, the actors are so committed to it that it kind of makes it work, I think, better than any of the previous movies since that very first Godzilla movie. And it all just kind of works. I like this movie. I give it a firm 3 stars. It is good in a fun sci-fi kind of kid-friendly monster movie kind of way. But yeah, I will say this. It is so jarring to me that Ishiro Honda the same man who made the original Godzilla movie also made this movie and several of the ones that came before this one. Because all meaning behind Godzilla is gone by this point. And he's a glorified cameo in this film. And it's just so strange to me the trajectory his films take. They will get weirder, and we'll touch on that as we come. But I just thought I'd highlight that at this juncture. This is the cosmic elements of the Godzilla narrative were hinted at in the previous film with the inclusion of Ghidorah. This is where they go full cosmic. And that is something they'll lean into in most of the generations that will come afterwards. But yeah, I enjoy this movie. Let me know if you like this movie. Some people kind of don't really respond well to it, but I think it's a good one. Probably because they don't respond well because of how little Godzilla and Rodan are actually in it, or any of the monsters for that matter. This is more of an alien movie, but this is the rare one that works for me. Let me know what you thought of it in the comments down below. Like, subscribe, do all that good stuff, and next time we're coming at you with Godzilla vs. the Sea Monster, which is how I grew up knowing it as, so that's what I'll call it. Godzilla vs. the Sea Monster next week. Thanks for watching. Peace.